Nice win, Coach. We'd like to start, please, with a statement from Illinois coach Brad Underwood.
Yeah, that was about everything we thought it would be in the NCAA tournament against a really well-coached, very good, and very hot team coming in. And Xavier, Sean does an incredible job. I thought the defense by Bam here, by Kylan, on Conwell was a big part in terms of the difference of the ball game. He was 3 of 10, 1 of 5 from the three. Really one of the most gifted players offensively in this tournament. And then I thought we did a really nice job on Fremantle. Tommy held him 2 of 9. 1 of 4 from 3 to 5 points, and those are their 2 leading scorers. So I thought defensively we were very, very good, led by those 2 guys. Kasparos isn't setting up here tonight, and he was one rebound away from a triple-double. I thought he was outstanding, as well as these 3 guys. And I was told Tommy set a record, NCAA tournament record, for most threes made by a 7-footer. Pretty good little stat there. But we beat a good basketball team. Will got going in the second half. He's 8 of 12, and he smoked 2 layups in the first half, where he had a really, really good night. But we had an answer for everything every time they made a run, and we were good enough to pull and get that thing up to 15 or 16 and held on.
Thank you, Coach. Questions for the Illinois student athletes, please.
Yeah, Adam Rittenberg with ESPN. Will, what was the difference for you in the second half, and what was your mindset at halftime and then going into that next half?
I just felt like I started off slow. I knew my team needed me in the second half, and I just picked things up, just really locked in on my role, and I completed it.
Will, this is the first NCAA tournament game for a lot of you guys. What carried you guys through this? What made you ready for this moment?
Honestly, our vets, for sure. They helped us prepare for it. I had no idea what it would be like coming into it, and it was crazy. It was more than I imagined, for sure. And these guys definitely helped us get through it and carried us through the way.
Mike Severson, MarquetteWire.com. So this is for Kylan. Growing up in Champaign, what does this mean to you to represent your hometown team in the NCAA tournament?
It means everything for me. Having my family here, watching me in my hometown jersey playing in my 3rd round, or my 3rd time going around in March Madness. Playing for Coach Underwood and playing with all these guys, it's been a blessing. I'm really glad that I made the decision to come here, but it means so much to me.
For Kylan, when Xavier cut the lead down to 8, when KJ was bringing the ball up the court, I saw you kind of put the hand out, like, let's slow down. What was kind of the message to get the lead back and get the team back on track?
No silly turnovers and no bad shots. They're a really mature team, so they're going to capitalize on mistakes that we make. For us, I know in that moment we just need to slow things down, get the best look. If that means wasting the clock and shooting the last, whatever the case may be, then so be it. In our offense, we always moving, getting to next actions. So we just always trusting that. But yeah, in that moment, definitely just need to slow the ball down.
This is for Tommy and Kylan. Obviously, you guys had a bad taste in your mouth after the Maryland game, but you've won 5 of 6 here. Just how do you feel you guys have gelled in these last 3-4 weeks or whatever it is?
I mean, after the Duke game, came together, got back in the lab, and just put everything together. I think our practice has been the biggest thing for us. Getting your butt handed to you and coming in and focusing on the little details and our effort and energy, especially today. I think we did a great job of that on the defensive end, focused on scouting report and everything like that. But yeah, that's a great way to answer for sure.
Yeah, I would say exactly like Kylan said. After Maryland game, just to be focused on little details, and just to forget about that game, focus on the next one, and to be mentally focused every game, every next game, and just to be ready to win.
Will, I'm over here to your right. If you could go back to whenever it was during the season when you weren't playing that much, whatever you were struggling with, physicality, or maybe you can say, but from that to the second half tonight, how big of a gulf is there between how you felt then about yourself and what you could do and how you felt out there tonight?
Honestly, I feel like it's definitely a big confidence thing coming into it. My mindset wasn't right throughout that little gap. I was just playing with my head down, and now I know my role. I know what coach wants of me, and I just established that, and I played the way that these guys want me to play.
Kylan, you have a bunch of guys, Will and Tommy and KJ, Merez, young guys who have never been through this before. What's to say about them to come out and perform on this stage?
I mean, that's why you come to Illinois. They've done a great job all year. They're just doing exactly what they've been doing all year. We see in practice each and every day. They step up to the plate, and they just, when the moment, gets bright, they're ready for that moment. I'm proud of each and every one of them. I'm glad that they just have the self-confidence for themselves.
This is Mike Severson from MarquetteWire.com. So this is for Kylan. So I would say, how would you describe yourself as a player, like especially coming out of that first half?
I'm the dude that just, I'll do whatever I need to do to help us win. If that's guard the best guy, if that's facilitate for my team, knock down the open shot. I feel like I'm very versatile, and especially on this team, the coach always puts me in those positions to be my best, but just trying to help the team win at all times.
Yeah, John Clay from the Lexington Herald Leader. This is for Tommy. Tommy, looking ahead to Sunday, you play Kentucky where your brother played. Is any extra incentive in that game?
Yeah, I hope it's gonna be a fun game. My brother played there last year, and he told me all the best things about Kentucky, and he had a great time there, and I'm looking forward to play that game.
Hey, Will, right over here. Just one for me. You played a really good game tonight. What's going through your mind right now as Illinois advances to the second round to take on Kentucky?
Honestly, I'm just super excited. We get this opportunity, and I know we're going to go on a run, so we're just super excited to get into this game.
Anything else for the student athletes? All right, guys, thanks. Good luck on Sunday.
Thank you.
Questions for Coach, please.
Coach, I just wanted to ask you, Kylan, it just seemed like tonight, just every winning play that was available he made. Just wanted to just speak to that.
That's what he does. That's what he does. Tough as heck. You go chase Conwell around for 40 minutes and the amount of running, then come down and be effective on the offensive end. He's tough, he's gritty, he's strong, he's a veteran. He's got a winning mindset. That rubs off, and can't say enough positive things about Kylan.
Brad, I'm wondering what you thought of your team coming into this game and what you saw from them.
Said it all year. I think we've got a really, really high ceiling. I think those guys had an opportunity to show themselves a little bit tonight. I thought it was, we did a lot of really good things. Defense and rebounding, we won the rebounding battle by 20. That's who we've been all year. It's nice to go 18 of 18 from the free throw line as well. But I thought we made plays, and I'll be honest, I was scared to death watching them against Texas the other night, and knowing that how hot they were and what they were doing shooting the basketball. They were leading the country in the last 6 games from 3. Really proud of this group. Really, really excited for their performance, and now we've got an opportunity to try to go do it again.
Brad, in the second half, you really slowed down their three-point shooting, took away those, made them shoot twos. What was the adjustment you made at halftime to kind of defend that better?
Well, we lost him on 3 plays in the first half. We got cross-matched on 1, and Foster hit 1. We gave Maddox a couple. We were really late on coming off Zoom action, and we were good with Swain shooting him. I think he made 4 all year. He got a couple of lucky rolls for those to go in, so we were really good with those. But just the hounding and the disruption, we wanted to make catches hard for Conwell. We wanted to make them hard for Maddox when he was in the game, just to disrupt their flow, to try to get him out of rhythm. And I thought over the course of time, we did a nice job of being disruptive.
Brad, 44 points from freshmen tonight. Usually this tournament's all about veterans. What can you say about your team's maturity of your young guys tonight?
Yeah, we're not freshmen anymore. It's about these guys have been playing 30-plus minutes a game. I've said it all along. I like their ceiling because I know how talented they are. The disruption in the middle of the season with the illnesses and everything else, you see how important Tommy is. Just passing it, rebounding it, defending it, being able to shoot it, and we missed that. And obviously, Merez still working his way back, but he's been terrific. So I'm ecstatic with the way those guys are performing, and they're truly not freshmen anymore.
Brad, just one for me right over here. You said in a hype video back in November that you really felt like this team can go as far as it wants to go. After such a dominant second half tonight, what do you feel your team's seeding is going into the round of 32?
I just think that you got to take every game for what it's worth. There's a different opponent. This one's going to be Kentucky, and they're seated ahead of us. So we'll be an underdog in this one, and we've got to go out and do things differently against them. So they all provide different challenges, but we've got to answer that no matter what it is. Excuse me.
All right, so you got one guy from the hometown up on dais, you got another guy from Croatia, another Canadian, one of your stars is Lithuanian. This whole season, to have all this diversity of culture and everything, like how important is that to keep the locker room together and have chemistry as the season has gone on?
It's been much easier, other than probably those guys cussing at me in their foreign language and I don't know what they're saying, which I'm sure that's happened a good amount, but especially from Tommy. But this group loves basketball. They love to compete. And this group rivals our group last year in terms of liking and caring for each other in the locker room. And it's genuinely a group that's happy when somebody else does something great. And that's really hard to find. So keeping them all on that page has been fun to be a part of, and even through all the adversity we went through. They're great human beings, they're great kids, they're smart, but they love the game, they love to compete.
Brad, I'm wondering what it's like to coach a team with such a high ceiling, but youth and everything you guys have been through and inconsistency, and then trying to get it to that maximum at this point of the year. What's just that like from your perspective?
Fun, challenging, aggravating, and I say that in a really positive way. The aggravation has been just that we played the schedule we played for a reason, and we didn't need any false pretense of who we were. We needed to go get smacked by Alabama in the second game of the year. We needed to have those moments. We needed to not execute a side out of bounds play to beat Tennessee. All those things were growing moments, but the aggravation came when we had so many different things, mono, a broken wrist, and the flu, and it just stunted us because we couldn't practice to get better. And that's what freshmen and young guys need is that. So I'm excited. That opportunity presented itself late in the year. We had 2 games in the last 15 days in league play, and that gave us an opportunity to really practice.
So, Brad, Will, 22 points tonight. You I'm sure you're not surprised when he goes on those heaters, but I want to get your thoughts on defensively, how he impacted the game.
Yeah, I mean, that's where his growth has been from the first day that he got here. I'm not sure he could guard you, in all honesty. And now he's a guy that's using his length. He's playing without fear. Had a couple of great blocks, and he's anticipating better. He's understanding scouting reports better. All of that stuff is just growth, and he's a guy we ask a lot of on that end, and he can do a lot of different things because of that length and his athleticism.
Brad, this looked like vintage KJ tonight. What's different for him, or what do you see different from him when he has a performance like that rather than the downs he's had here recently?
I think he played happy. I think he played like he enjoys this moment. I think he enjoys this. I think not to say that he wasn't, but I just saw a different glimmer about him in the last couple days. He's been a monster in practice. And I've just seen a happy kid. And he's 18 and a half. He's a kid. And just to see the fun and maybe the excitement of the NCAA tournament's what it took. But man, he's been talking 100 miles an hour. He's been, busting my balls on everything and laughing. And I mean, he's just having fun. And I mean that in a really good way.
You spoke a little bit earlier about this group having a lot of connectiveness. They have basically 11 new players. How do you find that with bringing in international kids through the portal, high school recruits as well?
We don't probably have enough time for that. We give personality tests. It's a big part of what we do. Character is something that we do a deep dive into. I don't want to coach guys that don't have high character. I'll put it that way. And guys that care about winning and guys that want to work. So we find a lot of common things together that way. But there's a few more things involved in that. But that's one of the bases.
Last one.
Brad, you guys won by 30-something at Oregon and by 20 at Michigan. I don't know what you'd say was the best you played at any point, but the tournament's different. Have you played better than this?
I thought probably not. I say this because I have so much respect for Sean, and I have so much respect for how well they were playing. I thought defensively we did a lot of really good things. Anytime you win on the glass by 20, have we had nights where we've probably been better offensively? Yeah, we've probably made a few more shots or whatever, but I thought the balance was great. And maybe we turned it over a time or two, but I thought we were really solid tonight.
Thank you, Coach. Good luck Sunday.
Thank you.
Seeing